Welcome to Behind the Muscle podcast. Today's guest is an NPC bodybuilder. Today's guest is Carlos Thomas Jr. Carlos, welcome to the podcast.
Hi, thank you for having me. Really appreciate you being on.
For sure, my man. So I just like to start each podcast, Carlos, by asking my guests the same two questions. So the first question that I have for you is, who are a few of your favorite bodybuilders of all time?
Definitely have to start off with Phil Heath for sure, and then Kevin Levrone. Definitely, he's top three, and then I'll have to say William Bonac, and let's see, a couple more. Let's see if I have any more. I'm trying to think. Flex Lewis. Yeah, I can keep. Don't get me started, dude. I'll keep going on and on and on and on. But those are a few. Yeah.
Awesome, man. So at what age did you start lifting weights, Carlos? And then why did you start lifting weights at that age?
Well, I started around like 13, 14 years old. And I started because I got into football. I did like one year of like a rec league. And then when I went to high school, I was like, okay, it's time to get serious. And so I got into weightlifting around that time.
Very cool, man. So talk to me a little bit. We're going to get into the Nationals talk and everything. And sure. I don't want to take too much of your time, but I just do want to kind of get a little bit of the backstory of how you got to kind of where you're at today, right? So talk about your childhood just for a quick minute. Talk about maybe some of the sports you played and some of those experiences, and then we'll kind of transition from there.
Okay. So I guess like growing up, just pretty much I wouldn't say like athletic, but I was just a kid who always liked to get outside and play around, move around, run, just kind of get out there, get outside. So I was pretty active as a child, not on a heavier side, more of a slimmer kid. But, I've always interested in athletics and, playing sports. So I started off, playing like a little bit of baseball at a local league. We had a local league, and, moved on to playing, football. Before football, I was in martial arts, and then got into football and so on and so forth. Ran track through high school a bit. That's I was always kind of interested in athletics and just kind of pushing myself physically.
Talk to me about your dad's influence, because I know that he's a big part of your team currently. So what are some of those things maybe that he instilled in you, Thomas, when you were a younger individual?
My dad has his own HVAC and plumbing business, and I've always seen him get up early mornings, get up early mornings and come back late nights, working. So, definitely instilled in me, I guess you want to say that, just that hard work, and I guess you want to call it blue collar mentality. Just get out there and get the job done. Sometimes it doesn't matter how you feel, just try to get it done the best you can. So yeah. Definitely, he's instilled in me that hard working mentality.
Very cool. And then what kind of role does he play up to this point in your adulthood? Obviously, I know he, again, is a big part of your team. So is he somebody that is just kind of there, just to encourage you and to push you, or is he just there just to kind of be that person to, be that fan and just be your dad?
I mean, yeah, he's all around everything, so if I need him to come to the gym with me and help me train, he comes to the gym with me, help me train. If I need to, have a talk with him, and it's somewhat of a more in-depth type of discussion, then, we can have those kind of discussions, So all around, definitely a dad and a friend. So just someone I can, like you said, is part of a good team, and he always, he's always there for me when I need him.
Very cool, man. I love that. So talk a little bit about once you graduated high school. I know you went to college. I know you have a professional career to this point. So talk about going to college, talk about what you studied, and then talk about your profession, if you don't mind, Carlos.
Yeah. So I studied communication in undergrad, and then I went and got on and got my graduate degree in communication, with a focus in like public relations and community relations. So I went from there and had a few internships around the Philadelphia, King of Prussia area, in marketing, PR, and then I have one with a Alzheimer's disease research lab. Center. So an ADRC, and then I had accepted a full-time position not too long after that with a Alzheimer's disease genetics research lab, working on the back end as like more of a communication research coordinator.
Very cool, man. So do you enjoy kind of having that outlet in terms of a career, as opposed to your bodybuilding, or does sometimes the career kind of take away from your bodybuilding, do you think?
Yeah, especially in the depths of prep, you can definitely have that bit of feeling as if, sometimes the career part is kind of not getting in the way, but it's becoming more of an annoyance as your focus becomes more onto the show. But overall, it's been a balance. But of course, I have more passion leaning towards bodybuilding and fitness at this time. But it's nothing that I feel as if it could be too overwhelming, like if you're saving the off season. But definitely prep, it becomes stressful.
For sure. So talk to me a little bit about is your ultimate goal then, Carlos, to live that full-time kind of like bodybuilding lifestyle and be that professional bodybuilder and then set your career to the side? Or are you thinking you're going to continue to always pursue both?
I'll just kind of take whatever comes at the time. If bodybuilding begins to become more of a, lucrative position for myself, then sure, why not? I think it's something that I'm passionate about. But I guess at the time right now, it's something that if I can manage both, sometimes it gets hectic, sometimes it's a little bit easier than others, but we'll see. We'll see.
Cool. So talk to me about when you actually got into bodybuilding, who introduced it to you, and just unpack that experience a little bit, please.
Yeah, so I kind of always been interested in bodybuilding because I've been in the weight room, and who doesn't really see pictures of Ronnie Coleman and Jay Cutler and so on and so forth in gyms, especially if you go to like the little local, kind of community type of gyms. You always see pictures of like sometimes hardcore bodybuilders or power lifters or strong men up on the walls. So kind of become familiar with it, just the gym from the gym environment I kind of was in as I started lifting. And so when I finished playing football, I was like, you know what, I love training. So it's either going to be CrossFit or it's going to be bodybuilding. And I chose bodybuilding. I just thought it was interesting, the way you could push your body to look a certain way.
Very cool, man. So talk to me a little bit about maybe your first competition. How did that go? And then just unpack your competition history for us, if you don't mind.
Sure. So I had my first show back in 2014, and then I quickly did 2 more shows after that, national level shows, because I did very well in my first one. And I didn't know what a national level show was, but I was like, my coach was like, go ahead and do them. And I was like, sure. So went on, I did very well at both of those. And then I took some time off, finishing my, my degrees. And then I came back in 2017 and did nationals. Well, 2016 did nationals for the first time. Didn't do so well, but came back the next year, placed top 5 as a middleweight. And then I went on to do my graduate's degree. And so I took some time off, and then I came back this year.
So this will be the first time. I know you competed earlier this year, but this will be the first time you're back on a national stage for how many years then?
4 years.
Okay, cool. So talk to me a little bit about that break. Were you still training pretty hard, or was your focus really on your studies?
No, I continue to live the bodybuilding lifestyle, training, eating. I feel like that's how I kind of made some progression in my physique. And, then now I'm up a few more weight classes. I definitely didn't, let my foot off the gas during that time.
Very cool, man. So let's talk about the show that you competed in earlier this year, because you had to requalify for nationals. Is that correct?
Yes.
How was that experience stepping on stage after a 4-year hiatus?
It was good. It was, it was just, big relief, just to be on stage again and kind of get those, those jitters kind of off your back, kind of get that those anxieties, that nervousness out of your system, got to get used to the stage again. So once I was on stage, it was fun. It was just all fun.
Very cool, man. So what's your mindset like, Carlos? Once you get into prep, I know there's obviously a lot of people bringing your name up in terms of being the next big thing, in the pros and all that type of stuff. How do you work through that mentally? How do you deal with that? How do you handle that pressure and those people talking about you?
I mean, yeah, it's something that I'm not quite used to, but I have a really good support system here. I have my girlfriend been here through this entire prep, and she's definitely been someone I can lean on. Of course, we mentioned my father earlier, my mother. Those are people I definitely lean on when I find things get stressful, and it could be too overwhelming. So I'm just very lucky to have people around me who can not only I want to say call it pressure, but I can kind of be able to let out any anxieties or nervousness I may have. So yeah.
Do you get is anxiety or anxiousness something that you have to kind of work through on a regular basis, or is it just kind of come and go in terms of competing?
Well, yeah, it's something I just kind of deal with, throughout life. But you just kind of find ways that you seek the proper guidance to help yourself manage them. Teach yourselves the right tools, and it gets better with time. As long as you're willing to. And I definitely find that when I'm willing to, try to get better and do the work to help myself, then things start to get a little bit better.
Yeah. Are you cool with maybe just sharing with myself and the listeners, maybe some of those tools that you use to help with that anxiety? Because that's something that I struggle with. I know it's something that a lot of people struggle with. So do you have any words of wisdom in terms of how we can maybe manage that in our own lives?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, man, it's going to be different for everyone else. But personally, I've been taking up a little bit more journaling, and like I said, like if you have to seek like someone who's more professional, like I go see a therapist. You know what I'm saying? So like those are tools that I use that I find work for me. And we work together to assign myself some work to do, some homework, and create schedules and kind of hold myself accountable to that. So it's kind of individualistic, but those are things that I find that work for me.
Very cool, man. Love that, Carlos. I appreciate you touching on that, man. So how's this prep gone? Obviously you competed, several weeks ago. Now we're going to be stepping on the national stage. So how's this prep gone compared to other preps? And has there been anything that you've kind of learned or taken away from this prep specifically?
Yeah, I've learned, to definitely trust, your instincts and your gut, and kind of go with, what you feel, may work for your body, especially when you've been doing it for a while. And so I've been able to learn my body a little bit more, kind of learn like what works for myself. And I think that's, very important as you continue to do, bodybuilding, is to, learn, what particularly works for you. And then that way you can get better each year. So this prep is ending very smoothly. And I think that's a testament of, eventually just taking hold of, what we feel works best for myself, and it's not only myself, it's my girlfriend, it's my dad, it's my trainer, it's my coach, it's everyone. We're all a team, working to put forth the best representation on stage. It's not only me.
100%, man. Talk to me about posing a little bit. What does that look like for you as you get closer to stepping on stage in terms of practice?
Well, I've worked with Kenny Wallach as my posing coach. So we just ran through some posing today, and he puts you through the mandatories. And currently I'm working on my routine with my girlfriend. So we're actually going to work on it after this.
Awesome, man. Is that something then like with Kenny, you guys, I'm assuming you probably just do like Zoom or Skype. Is that like a 30-minute session, hour session? What does that kind of look like in terms of how much you actually practice?
Yeah, well, Kenny is usually like 30 minutes to an hour with him. And then, practice intermittently throughout the week.
Awesome, man. So talk to me a little bit then, Carlos, about, you guys are going to be stepping on stage tomorrow. Do you kind of have a time frame in terms of when prejudging is and when finals? And if so, if you don't mind sharing that with us, that'd be cool.
Honestly, I don't really know the timing of it. I know it starts at 9 o'clock and when to be there, but and I know when they'll tell me to get on stage. So but I anticipate maybe we'll be on stage maybe around like 10:30 a.m. I'm not quite too sure. And then finals, I think, starts at 5. Honestly, I just go when they need me to go and put in the work. So
No, that makes
yeah,
sense.
you're gonna have to find out that news at NPCNationals.com. You have to go there.
For sure, for sure.
check out the
Yeah, and
live.
I actually just I was chatting with Nate Spear for a little bit, which I'm sure
Yeah.
you know who he is, and he said there's the super heavies, there's like 20 some people, and then in the heavyweights there's like 44 guys, so it's going to be some pretty big classes, which is pretty cool. So do you have any rituals or any routines that you have in terms of the day of competition?
None that I'm mindful of. Maybe there's some that I secretly do that I don't know of. Maybe my girlfriend could tell you more about that. But no, I don't really think I do. I just kind of just relax. That's the big thing I try to do.
Cool. So I know Iron Rebel is somebody that you're connected with, also HD Muscle. So yep, I saw that's an awesome jersey, man.
Yeah,
so talk about Iron Rebel, talk about HD Muscle. How have they been important parts of this process for you?
Yeah, Iron Rebel's been great. Definitely supplying me with all my clothing and my power gear and all my safety gear as I'm prepping and just keeping everything safe and keep my joints intact as I'm lifting these heavy weights. And then, HD Muscle does make very quality products that I've been using all throughout my prep, particularly their health series, as I've been leading up, just the Vita HD, Liver HD, Kidney HD, and also I use a lot of their Intra HD as well.
Cool, man. All right, dude. So we'll wrap it up here in a couple more minutes. Just in terms of your own personal expectations for this weekend, what are they, Carlos?
Oh yeah, overall, that's got to be, the goal. Shoot for the top spot, and we'll go from there. You know what I'm saying? And whatever happens, but we're going to aim for the top spot, of course.
Absolutely, man. And then if and when you do earn your IFBB Pro card, do you have any thoughts of what you're going to do next year, or are you fully focused on this weekend?
At this moment, I'm very focused on this weekend.
Perfect, man.
I'll cross that bridge when I get there,
Yeah, no, I get it. I just like to ask, some questions, see what we got going on. Is there anything else, Carlos, that you would like to leave with us before we close it out here?
Yeah, I just want to say thank you, for having me on, man. I really appreciate that. It was a long time coming. And I also want to just, express, my gratitude to the people I mentioned earlier, my entire support system. We worked very hard, and we're actually coming out with some good content for behind the scenes. So be sure to check that out on me and my girlfriend's YouTube channel, Thighs and Buys, and also just continue to follow the journey. And I really appreciate you guys. I really appreciate everyone following along. Thank you.
For sure. And thank you, Carlos, for taking a little time, man. I know there's a lot going on, but I greatly appreciate it. Okay.
Yes. Sorry, my energy level is a little bit low. We'll start carbing up in a bit, so I'll be a little bit better.
You're good, man. Hopefully, maybe after we get that pro card, we can have you back on, get a little food in you, maybe next year or something. So thank you, Carlos. I appreciate it. All of you who are tuning in to this quick episode of Behind the Muscle, I just want to say thank you. We're going to just end it really quick here because Carlos has some things he's got to take care of. But I just want you guys, just like the same thing with Nate's episode, support these guys, send these guys a DM, wish them luck. These guys are awesome dudes. They're putting their bodies, they're putting their minds through a lot to step on stage. And all of us who are fans and bodybuilding junkies and enthusiasts, we get to support them. We get to watch them. So make sure you wish all of these guys good luck this weekend. Take this episode, share it on your Instagram stories, tag Carlos, tag Behind the Muscle. And then as always, just remember, guys, behind the muscle, there's always a story. We'll catch you guys later.
Love it.